Hey, what's up? My name is Joe, and today I want to take a small detour from my main content to talk to you guys about the upcoming Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. For those of you that don't know, this remake was just announced on the 10th of September, and the general reaction to the remake has been, shall we say, less than positive. This video is not to say that a lot of the comments aren't justified. Looking at the footage from the reveal trailer, there is a ton of work that could still be done. This reuse of assets and overall character fidelity feels like something that's been picked straight from 2010. But as someone that holds the original game very close to their heart, I thought that I would pick out some of the things that you guys can be excited for in the upcoming remake. Firstly, I want to bring focus to the environments themselves. I think they're looking really good. Not only do they look extremely faithful to the original, but they've really been brought to life in a lot of places. I love the original game's textures and art, but the colour palette was actually quite washed out and desaturated in comparison to some of the screenshots and footage that we've seen. From the small snippets of gameplay we've seen, it looks like they're improving on one of the areas that the original needs it most: the combat. I often felt like the pace of the original game would get stopped dead with these larger battles of constantly spawning enemies. This isn't necessarily a problem in itself, but the options that were afforded to the Prince for combat were less than stellar, with the torpedo move reigning over all others. This gives you little reason not to just spam it constantly. I would like to see the remake tackle these combat sections with an enhanced moveset for the Prince, and also trimming some fat from some of the larger fight sequences. I believe this would also give weight to the grueling elevator fight near the end of the game. Something they've made the 100% right choice on is the decision to bring back Yuri Lowenthal for the voice of the Prince. He plays such a huge role in making the game a special experience. From his expansive monologues to the almost fourth wall breaking nature of his comments when you reset, he is definitely a welcome addition for the remake.
That's not how it happened.
I think the decision to use a studio that is situated in India, where a majority of the game takes place, is also a great move. This does tie back into the first point I made regarding environments, but I think they'll really be able to give each area its own unique and authentic flair. The creator of the series, Jordan Mechner, has written a blog post where he's offered his thoughts on the game. These comments are overall quite positive. I'll link his blog post in the description below. There was also this very interesting quote, which he doesn't expand on, but I think it could be very interesting. What things did you and the Pop team cut or compromise in the original game that you'd most wish to see added? This was a question posed to Jordan Mechner from the development team themselves. I wonder if this alludes to the elusive sand tigers that can be found in the original game's E3 trailer, or the rumoured griffin enemy that ended up making its way into Warrior Within and the Sands of Time Game Boy Advance port. If we get to experience any cut content from the original, I would certainly be very happy. There is also the fact that a lot of the footage was labelled as alpha footage, and this may not have been a tag that they've just put on the video. Some recent screenshot comparisons have been released recently, which show a marked upgrade in the character's fidelity. I'd also like to remind people of the reveal trailer for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Here's some screenshots from Twitter user Schaefer Austin. These show screenshots from a pre-release trailer from June the 11th, which is a staggering contrast to the final product released just 3 months later. It's possible that the studio at Ubisoft is able to pull a similar job with their slightly longer time frame. Overall, I think there's lots of reasons to be happy about this remake. And while some of those comments that we talked about were justified, I think it's important to remember that this is a labour of love for a lot of the developers, and they're probably putting a lot of themselves and their time into making this a wonderful experience for everyone. Please try to use constructive criticism rather than outright flame, and remind others to do so if you see it out in the wild. That's all from me for now. I hope you guys are looking forward to the game. I know I am. Peace.